All right, question number 5, we want to list all the asymptotes and then graph the function. So we have f of x, and I'm kind of off screen here, sorry, is equal to 4x to the third power over x squared minus 25. Okay, so we always start with the vertical asymptote, find out what makes the denominator 0. In order to do this, we need to factor. So the top will not factor. The bottom, according to difference of squares, will break down to x plus 5 and x minus 5. Okay, so this will give us our vertical asymptotes. We will take these two terms and set them equal to 0. When we solve for x, we get x equals -5. And we get x equals +5. All right, so we have two vertical asymptotes. Now we can check for horizontal. So there's 3 scenarios. If the degree is the same, it's the ratio. If the bottom is bigger, it's 0. If the top is bigger, there's no horizontal asymptote. So for HA, horizontal asymptote, I'm going to say none. Then I check for oblique asymptote. And notice, if there is a horizontal, there will not be an oblique, and if there is no horizontal, it is possible to have an oblique if the degree of the top is exactly 1 more, and that's what we have here. The top is 3, the bottom is 2, so it's 1 more. So we will have an oblique asymptote. So we'll do long division to sort that out. So we'll have 4x to the third. We're going to divide that by x squared minus 25. Okay. Now I should be putting placeholders, which I'll do. I'll just say 0x squared, 0x. So I got 3 more terms. But all in all, it'll just be a linear term. So I need x squared to be equal to 4x to the third. That means I need to multiply by 4 as a coefficient to get that to be a 4. And I need 1 additional x. So 4x. That will multiply here and give us 4x to the third. 4x, there's no x squared. There's no single x term in the middle. So we'll have 0x squared. And then 4x times the 25 will line up and give us negative 100x, which will line up with that term. So we will change signs. That will be negative. So it'll be positive. That goes to 0. 0x squared. And then a positive 100x. And then we can bring down our 0. That's what we would traditionally be looking at. And now I want to match up my x squared term with this x squared term. Well, there is none. So we can just say plus 0. And at that point, that'll give you 0, that'll give you 0, and that'll give you 0. So we can't make another linear term less than x. So basically, our oblique asymptote is just y equals 4x. And we plus 0, we don't really need it. But this will give us our slant or oblique. It's always going to be a linear term. So that being the case, we are looking at option C, plus 5 minus 5. That's a negative 4x. Actually, option D, positive 4x. All right, and then we want to pick the correct graph. So again, if we were trying to do this by hand, I can at least look and eliminate some answer choices with the the asymptotes. So again, let's say this is -5. And then let's say we have +5. And then we would have our slant asymptote at 4x. Okay, so let's just, if I could draw this straight. Something like this. And so based on just the orientation of my asymptotes, I would get rid of A and D. So we are looking at a 50-50 shot here. And then we can just plug in some points and kind of see which one best match. Let's look at this graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it looks like these asymptotes are at 4. It looks like these 5 lines, and it's counting by 2s. So I would probably get rid of D. Let me look at C a little bit closer. And if you look at C, 2, 4, it's the only one that has the asymptotes in the correct spot. Of course, you can put this in your graphing calculator and start plugging in points as well, but just based on the asymptotes itself, we can conclude that graph C would be our correct choice.